Good day, sir. I am Kabilangan Abdul Mujib, currently taking the Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Community Development. So this is Jake 109, Life and Works of Rizal. So the summary and the analysis of El Filibusterismo. So the protagonist of El Filibusterismo is a jeweler named Simon. He is the new identity of Crisostomo Ibarra, who in the prequel Noli escaped from pursuing soldiers. It is revealed that Crisostomo dug up his buried treasure and fled to Cuba, becoming richer and befriending Spanish officials. After many years, the newly fashioned Simon returns to the Philippines, where he is able to freely move around. He is a powerful figure not only because of his wealth but also he is a good friend and advisor of the Governor General. Outwardly, Simon is a friend of Spain. However, in secret, he is plotting a terrible revenge against the Spanish authorities. His two obsessions are to rescue his paramour, Maria Clara, from the nunnery of Santa Clara and to foment a Philippine revolution against Spain. So the story of El Filibusterismo begins on a board steamer ship sailing up the Pasig River from Manila to Laguna de Bay. So, a man of wealth and mystery, Simon is a very close friend and confidante of the Spanish Governor General. Because of his great influence in Malacanang, he was called the Brown Cardinal or the Black Eminence. By using his wealth and political influence, he encouraged corruption in the government, promotes the operation of the masses, and hastens the moral degradation of the country so that the people may become desperate and fight. He, smuggle, he smuggles arms into the country with the help of rich Chinese merchant Quiroga, who aspires to be Chinese consul of Manila. His first attempt to begin the armed uprising did not materialize because at the last hour he hears the sad news that Maria Clara died in the nunnery. In his agonizing moment of bereavement, he did not give the signal for the outbreak of hostilities. So, after a long time of illness brought about the bitter loss of Maria Clara, Simon perfects his plan to overthrow the government. On the occasion of the wedding of Paulita Gomez and Juanito Palaez, he gives a wedding gift to them, which is a beautiful lamp. Only he and his confidential associates, which is Basilio, Sisa's son who joined the revolutionary cause, know that when the wick of his lamp burns lower, the nitroglycerine hidden in its secret compartment will explode, destroying the house where the wedding feast is going to be held and killing all its guests, including the Governor General, the friars, the government officials, and the friars. So simultaneously, all the government buildings in Manila will be blown by Simon's followers. So let's fasten the story. The revolutionary plot is thus discovered. Simon is cornered by the soldier, but he escapes. But he is mortally wounded, and carrying his treasure chest, he seeks refuge in the home of Padre Florentino in the sea. So by the Spanish authority learns his presence, um, that he is in the house of Padre Florentino. So Lieutenant Perez of the Guardia Civil informs the priest by a letter that he will come at 8 o'clock that night to arrest Simon. So Simon eludes arrest by taking poison As he is dying, sorry, as he is dying, he confesses to Padre Florentino, revealing his true identity, his dastardly plan to use his wealth to avenge himself, and his sinister aim to destroy his friends and enemies. So the confession of dying Simon is long and painful. It is already night when Padre Florentino, wiping the sweat from his wrinkled brow, rises and begins to meditate. So lastly, watching Simon die peacefully with a clear conscience and at peace with God, Padre Florentino falls upon his knees and prays for the dead jeweler. The priest then takes the treasure chest and throws it into the characters of the novel and its role. So Simon is Chrysostom Ibarra in disguise, left for dead at the end of Noli Me Tangere, has resurfaced as the wealthy jeweler. Simon sporting a beard, blue-tinted glass, and a revolver. Fueled by his mistreatment at the hands of the Spaniards and his fury at Maria Clara's fate, he has since shed his pacifist image and become the titular filibustero, pretending to side with the upper class and encouraging them to enslave the masses, while in reality siding with the masses and urging them to revolt against the oppressive Spanish regime. So this time, he does not attempt to fight the authorities with knowledge, but by the force. He concocts a plot to set a bomb disguised as a beautiful lamp at a wedding where important members of civil society and the church hierarchy are in attendance. Unfortunately for him, his plan fails and he commits suicide by taking poison. For Basilio. So, Basilio is a son of Sisa, a graduating medical student who befriended Simon. This is the same Basilio introduced in Noli Me Tangere. Isagani or Isagani Villamor. Isagani Villamor is Basilio's friend, ex-view of Polita Gomez and the man who removed the explosive lamp from the Captain Tiago's house. Thus, he is the one who sabotaged the Simon's plan. Cabezang Tales. So, Cabezang Tales or Cabeza Telesforo Juan de Dios, a former Cabeza de Barangay or a barangay head of Sagpang, a barangay in San Diego's neighboring town, Tiani, who resurfaced as the feared Luzon bandit Matanglawin. Tandang Selo. Tandang Selo is a father of Cabezang Tales. He raised the sick and young Basilio after he left her house in Noli Me Tangere. He died in an encounter on the mountains with his son Tales. So Padre Salve or Father Bernardo Salve, a former parish priest of San Diego, and now the director and chaplain of the Santa Clara Convent. Father Irene. Father Irene is Captain Tiago's spiritual advisor. Although reluctant, he helped the students to establish the Academia de Castellano after being convinced by giving him a chestnut. The only witness to Captain Tiago's death, he forged the last will and testament of the latter, so Basilio will obtain nothing from the inheritance. So Father Irene is the one who witnessed and um, he hid the um, testament from Basilio for him to not to receive or not to inherit the uh, left inheritance of Captain Tiago. Doña Victorina. Doña Victorina de los Reyes de Espadaña, known in Nolimitangere as Tiburcio Pauleta Gomez, and favors to Juanito Palais than Isagani. Although she is an um, she is on Indio ideology. She considers herself as one of the peninsular Don Tiburcio or uh, Tiburcio de Espadaña. Don Tiburcio is Victorina de Espadaña's lame husband. He is currently on hiding with Father Florentino. So at the story, Don Victorina is on that boat with Simon and the other characters uh, to find his lame husband Tiburcio de Espadaña. Number 4. Retraction and comparison between Noli and El Fili. So, in Noli Me Tangere, Noli Me Tangere is a romantic novel. Um, it is a work of the heart, a book of feeling, and it contains freshness, color, humor, lightness, and wit. While El Filibusterismo, in contrast to Noli Me Tangere, is a political novel, work of the head, book of thought, and it contains bitterness, hatred, pain, violence, and sorrow. One of the great books written by our national hero, Dr. Jose P. Rizal, is Noli Me Tangere. It is a Latin word meaning touch me not. This book is a societal novel. He started writing it in Madrid, Spain on 1884, and he continued it in Paris, France, and was finished in Berlin, Germany, on February 1887. Noli Me Tangere was dedicated to his inang bayan, the Philippines, or Dr. Jose Rizal's motherland. The history stated in the book Uncle Tom's Cabin of Harriet Beecher Stowe that the suffering of Negro slaves under the cruelty of Americans give our hero the idea. The idea in writing his book, he saw the similarity of his of that book, the Negroes, the Americans' cruelty experienced by the Negroes, and it is like the Spaniards' cruelty to the Filipinos. Another important writing of our national hero is the El Filibusterismo. It comes from the word filibustero, which means a person who is against the Roman Catholic. This book is a political novel. He started writing it on 1890 in London, England, and was finished in Brussels, Belgium on 1981. This was dedicated to the three martyrs, which is the Gumburza, Father Mariano Gomez, Father Mariano Gomez, Father Jose Burgos, Father Jacinto Zamora. Dr. Rizal believed that the three martyrs was only a victim of cruelty and loss of justice. They was blamed with Sergeant La Madrid to be the leader of Cavite Mutiny on January 1872 and sentenced by garrote on February that year. El Filibusterismo was first published in a publication company in Ghent, Belgium. Belgium. The publication of the book were stopped because um, of financial problem. By the help of Dr. Valentin Ventura, the publication resumed and was finished on September 1891. As a favor, Dr. Jose Rizal gave the original manuscript of the novel with an autographed copy of the book. El Filibusterismo is far more dark and brutal. This novel can really make a better person because the novel's message is violence is never the answer. The novel's plot shows that at first, Simon is planning to rescue Maria Clara by all means necessary. And that means even if he has to use force, he will do it just to achieve his goal, to rescue Maria Clara. Contrary to what Ibarra believed, that is contrary to what Ibarra um, believed in. But at the end, the writer Dr. Jose Rizal showed that violence is never the answer in Simon's death and Father Florentino's lamentation. So the final event really showed that violence is never the answer to anything. It is just a way to create and replace the old problem with a new one. So El Filibusterismo showed us that even how anger and vengeance can take over a person's being. So when you're angry um, and you want vengeance to something, you will do any means necessary to have a vengeance on it, to pay, yes, to repay, to have a payback to that person. But in the novel, it showed that even how angry and you want vengeance, then violence is not the answer. And another lesson that I have learned from the novel, so even if how richer you are, how powerful you are, you can control people. You can't have what you want, or even how richer you are, you still got a problem with it. And it is like achieving your goal does not connect with how richer you are and how powerful you are. It is on how you think and how you feel about achieving it. And also, as a Filipino, we should always be righteous and still choose what is right over what is wrong. As what the saying, uh, as what the saying goes, do not do unto others what you don't want others do unto you. We should always be good so that people around us will also be good to us. So that's all for this video, sir. I hope you've understood uh, all the content in this video. Thank you once again and God bless. Wassalam.